all. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Here's my letter of introduction. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Kholusia. Kholusia? Is that right? I will pick you out a friendly whelp. Amaro are often used for travel then. Okay, so are these gray things Amaro? And here, I was expecting a chocobo. A chocobo? Do you hail from one of Norvryn's more isolated settlements, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. But here in the Crystarium, mounts like that gray fellow there are far more commonly used. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Oh, right, and I gotta change to Reaper. That's right. Okay, so where am I going now? Oh, you're you're her, aren't ye? Haldor has been asking after ye. You know, Haldor, Clan, got it. Oh, wait, clan hunts? Oh, clan hunts, okay. Or hunts, I guess. You see more of yourself? Yes. So here it's called nuts. Yes, I know, it's gonna be the first rank, right? Speak with, May I help you, miss? Hereby accept your application. Hunt what you like, nothing at all. Yay! You want to fly an Amaro to Kholusia? Well, I suppose if Master Junmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The master should be along with the mount shortly.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
We are arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach. How original. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Kholusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Eulmore, the island's main settlement. Okay. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. What are you after? Fish? Crab? I think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere, if you've a taste for them. Oh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say as there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Alphinaud, eh? I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Eulmore's richer than all of Norvryn put together. But it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him. Wait there, and I'll see that Alphinaud joins you. Alright. Sounds good to me. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having? Ale, mead, water. Water can't be drunk on the job. A fine choice. And what'll you be paying with? I got Gil. Well now, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. And I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement, okay? Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately, the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What do you say to a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find. Then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me, and you can laze about here as long as you like. Alrighty. No response, maybe you need to knock louder. Okay, no response. Perhaps the occupant is hard of hearing. What do I need? Just kick it down? Brr. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Nothing. No one was home. Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Gatetown, outside Eulmore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? Nope. And there I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you'd like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
It's him!
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
'Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphinaud, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke.
Yeah.
Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma and Yotsu.
Mm-hmm.
It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Me, I was more worried about you. Exactly. I was more worried about you.
Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Met up with Alize and saw some crazy, nightmarish
I see.
things.
Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change.
True.
But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing: Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped.
You in the crotch?
But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch,
I am sorry,
we've
Rob,
developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail, but I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course.
Of course.
They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered.
Nearly got you killed?
That is what brought me to the gates of Eulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Oh, hungry for another adventure? Yes, as long as there's no, people, like, having this, like, white wax come out of their face and eyes and...
And so we take to the road once more.
Ugh. My poor heart. Thank you, young miss. You're welcome. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lass like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Eulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Ah, yes, Alize would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Amarang, Kholusia is almost a haven. But as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Eulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gatetown, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Ah, I thought I recognised you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
Compete?
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please!
Okay. Wait. Yes, they're meant to be...
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners,
What?
one and all. Eulmore
Sword! Oh my
extends
god!
its regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine
Wow.
on fish divine, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu.
I'm just glad they at least seem prettier
Who among you will answer the call?
than
Name
the
yourself
Zorn
or
and
another.
Thorn from
We may
9.
not at all.
Do you recall how I said Eulmore was a center of power and authority?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is not the only reason for its fame.
You disapprove of these people's way of life. You disapprove of Eulmore. Eulmore, I would say. Not necessarily the people's way of life, but Eulmore. 'Tis difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Mayhap it is that uncertainty which always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Jeez. Also, I just noticed Alphinaud's got a fancy-ass looking grimoire there. Not that it matters. Fresh fruits in particular. And when I offered to procure such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Surely, even the most jaded Eulmoran lord would have time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. Okay, my appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? I fear it's gonna go wrong or something. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first then, we must pay a visit to Mosha Moa, my supplier in Right. Come, it is just to the northwest of here. Okay. It's a Makote. Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Mosha Moa. This is my associate, Alenia. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Eh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. My still lad, short blue hair? No? He said he'd come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed... The eavesdropper! Confound it. Someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation, you think? If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. Okay. That's him. Found ya. Hey, he's kind of cute. Looks young. You've located your quarry. A good old dictatorship. Let's go overthrow a dictatorship, shall we? The more I hear about Eulmore, the more determined I am to see what waits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first, we should convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. A way into the city? Pray, accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I would assist you in your attempt to enter Eulmore, insofar as I am able, at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to the stomach, but since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. Ah, City of Final Pleasures. Excuse me, but you're the lady Alphinaud was traveling with, aren't you? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch your name. Ah, Alenia, how lovely to meet you. My name is Ulysse, and I'm the acting village mayor. I was hoping someone of your talents would pass through right before long. The thing is, I need to visit someone up at Stonegazer, but I'm afraid to walk the path alone. Do you think you could provide an escort? Great, an escort. Forgive me, it's not often we see travelers in Right, what with how dangerous it is hereabouts. I even worry for my husband taking the road down to the shipyard, and he's as strong as a Talos. He has been gone a good while, though. If you're headed that way, could you please let him know his wife is expecting him at home? Hey, something I can do for you, stranger. Well, beat me with a hammer. Has it been that long? I was aiming to salvage the planks from this old hole, but she's given me more trouble than I bargained for. Bit of a waste to leave all this lumber lying around. Not much call for seaworthy ships since the light ate up half the world, you understand? Of course. So I reckoned it were better for a woodworker like me to put it to good use. These boards, though, they're so tightly joined. Here, do me a favor and sprinkle some of this powder on the joints along the keel. That should do the trick. Powdered fire crystal is the best thing for melting wood glue. Just pour on a little water and the steam will take care of the rest. This ought to be a one-man job now, thanks to you. What, he had you strip planks? The cheek of that man. Still, we're lucky his father taught him the trade at all, even if he uses those skills to take ships apart instead of building them. A woodworker puts food on the table, so I'm grateful to his family for keeping up their traditions. And I'm grateful to you for bringing me peace of mind. Please, take this for your kindness. Thank you. Thank you for the escort, Alinea. This is the gentleman I wish to speak with, so we needn't go any further. Well, that was actually pretty quick. Salut. Hello. Are you wandering around by yourself out here? You know what kind of creatures lurk beyond the borders of the village. Ah, well, if it isn't Clifton's little girl. Something I can do for you, lass? Yes, sir. I came for an answer to my proposal from the other day. Have you given any thought to taking over as village mayor? I'm doing the best I can in the interim, and the rest of the villagers agree with me. I'm fairly sure I told you nay once already. Oh, we get to see Zorn and Thorn again. Here they come. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention once more. What a day it's been for the folks at our door. God, the rhyming, Jesus. We've welcomed a peddler who made pearls from a plum, and now we've a place for a painter of a plum. So come along and don't be slow. It's time to let your colors show. I can paint, portraits at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days. Oh, I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune that you should feel at ease around an easel. What proof have you of your prowess? Any masterpieces on your person? Sadly not. Everything I paint is soon sold. Such is the life of a working artist. Nice. I have only my brush to testify for me. Though you will note that it has seen no small amount of service. Aha! Ho ho! Flecks of paint, both old and new, a tool much loved and much used. Not a prop to be conjured on the hop? Very well, come with us and we'll put those talents to the test. That's awesome. Well, that was bracing. I believe the lingering smells of the road have been successfully expunged. Shall we go and present ourselves to our new patrons then? Let's do it. You're looking to present yourselves to the Chais, are you? Let me explain how the city is laid out then. Imagine there are 3 layers, one on top of the other. This layer here is called the buttress. Above us is the understory, where the military has its headquarters. And above that, you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens of Eulmore spend their days. So, if you want to find your new patrons, you'll need to keep climbing until you run out of stairs. Then, look for the Grand Dame's Parlor. Okay? They'll be in there like as not. Whoa, they are,
Oh, who's this then?
Happy. She's a happy cat. Happy kitty.
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Ah,
and
you
he's
must be the new,
very opposite.
Oh, goodness me. What an adorable boy. That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers. I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he'll paint us the most delightful pictures.
Yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome to Eulmore.
Was that? New to Eulmore, you say? Yeah, only just arrived and you're already looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting, but you need to slow down and enjoy life, my friend. I'll tell you what, you hop on stage and give us a dance first, and then we can have our little talk. Here. That's the way. Dance like there's no tomorrow. Now that was a show. You're welcome to clamber up on stage anytime you like. Oh, you've returned from your jaunts around the city? So soon? You needn't have hurried back. Young Alphinaud has yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot rush good art, I'm told. Or good artists, apparently. Ah, finally. Well, look at you, Alphie. Fancy schmancy. I've put together an ensemble of the garments you chose. Is this satisfactory? Oh, goodness gracious me. That last outfit was precious, but this makes you look positively dashing. You are truly a handsome boy. However am I to decide? What happened to painting? Exactly. The lad is an artist, dearest, not a dress-up doll. It's about time we set him to work for the reason we called him here. You're one of the bonded, aren't you? Like me. Please, I need your help. My throat, I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's just not getting any better. If my patron thinks I'm of no use to him, then I need you to sneak out to the derelicts and describe my condition to Thorrich. Here's a list of symptoms and a hunk of mule to pay for his medicines. Please, I have no one else to turn to. Hee hee, you need medicines? Tonics? Potions? A cure for an ailing voice, is it? No medicine will cure this. Methinks your songbird has a lump in her throat. It must be cut out, excised, and even then the voice may never heal completely. Okay. Hee hee, poor little songbird. Will they kick her from the nest, I wonder? Or simply silence her chirps? Your face, you didn't know? One of the many hopefuls who enters the city, very few are ever seen to leave, even as corpses. That doesn't seem very, normal. Oh, you might see one or two fortunate fools hurled from the balconies, but the rest, gone. I feel bad. So that's it? What am I to do if I can't sing? Ah, there you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... So, you've been suffering all this time? I'm sorry, my pet. My pet? I hadn't realized your affliction was this grave. But you needn't fret. I'll not reward you your hours of trilling by casting you out into the street. Now, if you will excuse us, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you have shown my precious canary. You're welcome. I take my eye off you for one moment and you're chattering away with that assistant of yours. Am I to assume the outline is done then? What in the blazes? What's wrong with it? It's actually really good. It's so unflattering. It's so accurate. Where's your artistic interpretation? Lord Chai, you stated that this portrait was to commemorate your anniversary, yours being a joyous union. It seemed to me that a realistic portrayal... Realistic? I don't want realism, I want perfection. A spectacle to slacken jaws and weaken knees, to make people cry out in amazement. Now fetch a blank canvas and... I say, did that come from above? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A tale to make you quiver and your noble blood freeze. There was a villain on the loose set to ruin our fair city, but our lord has got him now, and his fate will not be pretty.
That's Vauthry. He's attended by sin eaters.
If those weren't sin eaters, I'd say...
But how does he keep them from attacking?
They're really pretty.
Mercy.
Oh my, what the hell?
Kholusia, what happened to you?
Who are these impudent louts? I do not recall requesting their presence.
Lord Vauthry, what is the meaning of this? Why is this poor man bleeding to death on your floor?
Why? You ask me why? Because criminals must be punished. And this man is guilty of fraud. He came to us, claiming to be a man of business. Yet his subsequent conduct has shown him to be anything but. Yours is a city built on love instead of man. Who gave you permission to tend to that criminal's wounds? I told you to paint me a picture!
What you need is a mirror, not a painting. It will capture the horror I see before me far better than I ever could.
Did that little worm just insult me?
Yep.
I'll kill them! I'll kill them all!
Mm-hmm.
I'll enslave their minds! I'll torment them! Torture them! And tear out their hearts!
Yeah, they're not even... He's literally throwing like a temper tantrum, like... Forgive me. In my anger, I seem to have marched us back outside again, though it is probably best we leave the island altogether. I believe we've worn out our welcome in Eulmore. In any case, I've seen enough of the world's self-proclaimed capital city to convince me that our battle against the Sin Eaters will find few allies in Kholusia. Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Yep, I do. See me in. Let me talk to the man behind the curtain, so to speak.
Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
Better is not the word I would use.
Right.
Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right, and I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness. Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Light Wardens. And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist.
Okay.
Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Light Warden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
Okay.
I have a feeling Eulmore might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters. Vauthry's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Eulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience. He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens. Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity.
Okay. Sure limiting the Wardens will be enough? I'm not sure if I follow. Are you sure limiting the Wardens will be enough?
Your uncertainty is understandable, given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then.
Well, that's cool.
In the ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds.
Yes, we know this.
This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially. Now, let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source. And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence.
Okay.
If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold.
Okay.
As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, a single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds. What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as umbral calamities.
Okay. I gathered as much.
7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed. At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining. It is the Sin Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Light Wardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Norvrant, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we put each and every Light Warden to the sword.
We've been doing our best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Light Wardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Holminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphinaud and Alize as well.
My lord.
Pray, lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
Holminster Switch is past these gates and through the woods. It's not exactly a near neighbor to the Crystarium, but as we occupy the same region, we have built up something of a cooperative relationship. What can we expect inside, Captain? The town is beset by a swarm unlike any we have seen in recent years. We did our best to evacuate the villagers, but as many as half remain. Judging by the number of eaters present, we have good reason to believe that a Light Warden leads the attack. How convenient. It seems we'll have our chance to slay a warden sooner than we expected. One does not simply slay a warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of those fiends? No, they have not. They hold more light inside them than all of their underlings put together. It can be struck down, aye, but its essence won't dissipate like the weaker kind. Vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being, a reckless young swordswoman perhaps, and turn her into a brand new warden. Oh, that seems like a bit of a problem. Well, you can leave that particular quandary to us. I must ask that the guards stand down and allow us to engage this leader of eaters alone. Concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can. But what if... Understood, my lord. As captain of the guard, however, I will not watch you brave such danger without an escort from our ranks. I insist that I go with you. Very well. Then our warden-slaying party shall include myself, the Levieurs, Captain Lena, and last but not least, little old me. A formidable group indeed. Into Holminster we go. God, that's a mouthful. Once we reach the Light Warden, do not hold back. We strike to kill. Okay. Yay! Whoa! Whoa! Philia. Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of? If anybody else has played Kingdom Hearts 2, it reminds me of one of the nobodies. Like a nobody from Kingdom Hearts 2. Thank you.
It's releasing its ether. Fall back. We cannot let it touch us. Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw.
That will not be necessary, Captain, though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption.
We do? What, me? Why, because I'm the warrior of light, I guess?
Of light, and the hero who wields it now stands before you.
Oh my god. Is it going into me? Am I like just gonna be like, it's gonna go into me and I'm just gonna be like, nope, dissipate. Or it's gonna do like nothing to me? Woo! Bonus XP. It's like from the trailer!
Behold, the monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
Oh my god. Okay, that's pretty epic. That's pretty damn epic. Oh, that was awesome! Wait, some of these people, it's been like hundreds of years, right? So like some of these people have never seen a dark sky, right? Especially these kids, they've never seen a dark sky. Holy crap.
The warrior of darkness has come.
I guess I'm now the warrior of darkness. Wow, so epic.
What I think it is?
The night sky, as it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true. My lord?
You don't need
How
to
many years
bow to
have
me.
I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains.
So let's go kill the other wardens.
Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion.
Okay.
Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will. I swear, on my life,
more so everyone else.
I will one day atone for that deed. But for the present, I beg you stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the wardens and restore darkness to the first.
Ardbert, right? Ardbert. Is that right? I will become the warrior in need. It sounds like a glorious adventure. It seems I have no choice but to fight. It's like Ardbert is just like waiting to see what I say. Sounds like a glorious adventure with glorious purpose. I will become the warrior you need. It's a fanboy for sure.
On behalf of the first, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exar, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I do it for my people, of course, to give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower.
Yeah.
I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose.
You've watched the series Bridgerton, you've seen the excerpt's voice actor. I have not, actually.
I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving.
I've not actually seen that, so I guess I haven't seen the Exarch's voice actor.
Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man, one burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Okay.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failing, I'm afraid.
That's true.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin Eater is defeated.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villagers and make our way back to the Crystarium.
All right. Now, as for how we proceed from here, yes. The villagers we evacuated earlier have arrived safely in the Crystarium. They seem to be accepting their situation for the moment. Most folk are far too distracted by the sky to worry about wounds or lost homes. They whisper and wonder if the warrior of darkness has come. 'Tis to be expected. Alinea, I must ask a favor of you. Would you be so kind as to conceal your involvement in this endeavor for the time being? Sure, seeing the light recede from Lakeland is a momentous occasion, and many will be swept up in a maelstrom of excitement and confusion. Should you come forth as the legendary warrior of darkness, I fear that no matter how good your intentions, such an appearance would throw the city into disarray. I find myself in agreement with the Exarch, although my concerns are more focused on Eulmore. It may be best if you maintain a low profile until we see how Vauthry responds to all of this. Right, sounds good. My thanks. Though we cannot freely celebrate your success, pray allow your heart to be buoyed by the joy of our citizens, a joy you surely brought into being. And I must ask the same discretion of you, Captain. 'Tis my intention to share with our people the tale of a great warrior who stood in defiance of the Sin Eaters. This unnamed champion defeated the Light Warden and has since departed for parts unknown. Yes? As you wish, my lord. Your penchant for mystery is nothing new, and I will encourage folk not to question this either. Although I expect to be told the whole truth of it one day, about all of you. I'm sure we will. With that settled, I shall return to the Crystarium and make an address to the people. These explanations and adjustments will consume much of my time, so pray take the opportunity to rest and recover from your exploits, and to think you'll not even need to shutter the windows to enjoy a dark, peaceful night's sleep. I must stay behind and coordinate the evacuation of the remaining survivors. And I hesitate to ask after all you've done here today, but could I ask you to pass on a message on your way to the pendants? Please let Braggy know that we're bringing in a number of injured, and that any restoratives in the markets need to be reserved for the infirmary. Alrighty, will do. We should start making our own way back to the Crystarium. Slowly, mind you. It wouldn't do to arrive too soon after the Exarch. I'm staying behind as well. There's something I need to check on in Holminster, Tesleen. We already ran through the village top to bottom, Alizé. We should all take the chance to rest. You included. I knew one of those eaters, and I can't rest. Not now. So please, I wish to be left alone for a while. And that means you as well, Alinea. I shall be cross if you try to follow me. Oh no, Alizé, cross. I promise to find you later, when I feel myself again. Just you and me then, shall we? I guess so. What can I do for you? Crap. I see. Well, Captain Lena can rest assured that any potions I spot coming in will be set aside for the wounded. Hang on a moment. If you're carrying messages for the guard, does that mean you were there then? The battle at Holminster. A stalwart lass like you might want to pay a visit to the Wandering Stairs. Make yourself known. I'm sure Leonard can introduce you to some interesting opportunities. What kneecaps? What ankles? Yeah. Guys, this is a long camera shot. Sayla, more beer for table 2, and a couple of pints of mead for table 3 while you're at it. Coming right up. Sorry, we're rushed off our feet today, miss. Can I get you anything? Drinks are on the house. Oh, that Braggy has a twisted sense of humor. Gah, ha ha ha. To think he'd send you to me at a time like this. The first real night in near 100 years has folk all riled up and then some. What's more, there was that eater business at Holminster Switch. They say a Light Warden was destroyed without a damn trace, and it was the Warrior of Darkness who did the deed. You don't say. I really must apologize for Leonard. He's been almost as rowdy as our customers, and that's no small feat. A lot of our regulators are bounty hunters, you see. They mostly go after eaters, and the rumor of the warrior's appearance was the spark to their kindling. Okay. You know how the weak eaters are drawn to the strong ones, right? Aye, they swarm like angry bees around a queen. You need look no further than Holminster for proof of that. But attacks on that scale don't happen every day. Praise the blessed shadow, okay? No, the more common threats are the strays. No one knows why, but every now and again, an eater will leave the pack to prowl alone. Those are the ones you run into on the road if your luck is foul, and they're a danger to everyone. So the settlement council puts bounties on their heads, and our bar here is a convenient place for hunters to gather and share information. Seems a few of them were inspired by the warden slaying even more than most. These are the types who have their sights set on the absolute worst of the strays, a class of eaters that have been dubbed the Cardinal Virtues. The virtues showed up out of nowhere about 3 summers ago, and when historians heard the descriptions given by survivors, well, apparently they share an appearance with the villains who caused the flood. Oh, and if that doesn't send a chill down your spine, they're also reported to be as tough as Light Wardens. Not the kind of prey you can take down single-handed, okay? Our virtue hunters had all but given up, but knowing the Warrior of Darkness is out there has lit a fire in their bellies. Just look at them. That Hume over there with the oversized sword is grandson. Grandson, really? He's in it for revenge. He wants to recruit a comrade in arms as tenacious as he is. Role quests. So these are like job quests for Shadowbringers, I guess? The Mistel lad is Lurik. Don't be fooled by those dewy cheeks. He's as hard as a hunter as they come. He just lost a partner and seems to be on the lookout for a new one. That's Cree. Word is, he's an expert in magicraft to help fight the virtue he's after. Oh, he seeks an expert in magecraft to help fight the virtue he's after. Last, we have Giot, dwarf and drunkard both, wanted to join forces with a healer, and only a healer. Something about needing a mender's wisdom. I've seen my share of competent veterans, and you have that look about you. Maybe you should introduce yourself to one of our hunters. Who knows? Together, you might even collect the bounty on a cardinal virtue. Now there's a grand idea. Imagine the prestige my bar would earn if we boasted the patronage of a successful virtue hunter. As a role class, a separate questline and story is now available for tank, physical DPS, magical range DPS, and healer roles. Ardbert. See, I'm remembering.
So it's your lot's turn to be the warriors of darkness, is it? It's funny how things work out.
You're telling me. I've been watching, have you? These are my private quarters. Been watching, have you?
Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Eulmore and then on to Armarang, and I was there when you slew the Light Warden.
Reverse that.
Those white-haired twins who were with you, I remember them from our battle in the Source. Are they your friends then, through thick and thin?
Yeah, pretty much.
Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. So when you charge ahead trying to save someone else that you end up losing those you love. Not that you need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder, what will it cost you this time? I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother. You get numb to it all over the years. The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles. Just more nagging burdens to ignore.
So this is what the light was hiding.
Hey, it's my outfit.
She's here. I must go to her.
Is it Memphilia? Like, Oracle of Light said it wasn't our time or whatever when we were, like, floating through the space-time continuum. Meanwhile, inside an Imperial Magitech facility in the Source. Okay.
Intruders! Fan out and find them!
Estinian! Wasn't she with, what's his name?
Stay your weapon.
Yep.
We are not your enemy. When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders. Sir Estinian, I presume. The dragoon who plucked the warrior of light from the jaws of death. Your armor is most distinct.
True. And also,
much as yours
amazing looking lance.
But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places. Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadow Hunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
Yes, and she's like, yeah, it's just...
Through no choice of my own. They tracked me down and conscripted
I was
me
thinking
to
the
their
same
cause.
thing, actually.
I swear their receptionist was trained as a spy.
Tataru.
Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
I mean, true.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed.
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here. Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated. There will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
Isn't that what they want, though?
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
Kills people.
The gas is described as a poison, but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill. Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart, and all without damaging a single structure.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
From what I hear, you need all the help you can get. In case you don't know, Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
Thank you guys so much. I love you, and have a great one, and I will see you guys next time.